As a student, our next guest noticed a discrepancy in some of her classrooms. She was one of just a few girls in higher level math, computer science, and research courses. That experience inspired her to take action. Vivian Liu co-founded Future Female Scholars. It's a free education platform offering one-on-one tutoring, scholarship resources, and academic support for girls. So far, they've reached over 1 million young ladies worldwide, encouraging them to explore STEM. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is so amazing. I love this. You're a high school student, as I mentioned. You love STEM, research and education. What first got you interested in all things STEM?
Well, I'd say ever since I was growing up, I knew that I kind of gravitated more to math and science courses. And as I moved up my math courses, I took a lot of summer courses, and then I also took the credit by exam. So I was able to take Calculus BC sophomore year. And then just moving on, when I took linear algebra and differential equations, slowly I saw that there were less and less girls.
No. Jokingly, I say that because math is so hard for so many people. But what's interesting is that when we look at the research, we see that a lot of girls feel the same way elementary school, and then by middle school start to peel off, and for some reason just aren't as interested in STEM anymore. Not that they can't do it, they just don't do it. Do you know the reason why?
Well, the thing that I noticed, and I also felt a lot of discouragement, is when I would go to these math courses, especially when at the University of North Texas, I took external math courses, I would see that there were so many guys in the room, but there were no girls. And so just being there, it makes you have this internal feeling of just not
you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, you competed at Regeneron International Science and Engineering Fair. It's the world's largest high school science competition, and you presented engineering research, won a grand award and special. You sound like you already have 6 PhDs, but you won a grand award and a special award. What did you do your research on?
Yeah, so my research was on creating a low-cost waterborne toxin detector. So basically, traditional water sensors are very expensive. So I tried to make a low-cost version using the technique surface plasmon resonance.
Okay, where did you come from? No, I'm just okay. Your mom is over here. Mom, come over here real quick. Just come right on over here. You walk right on over here. I just want to say something to you. Come on, come on. She's busy recording the whole thing. You raised an amazing young girl. She's amazing. All right, you can go back to recording now. All right, all right. So, but what you noticed at that competition even is that there were no girls there, or very few, right?
Yeah, I noticed that in my category even, I saw just walking across the line of all the different science fair posters, I noticed that there was a girl next to me, but just walking down the hall, there were so many guys, and it was mostly just guys, especially in the category engineering.
Yeah, your friend Claire, both of you had the same observation, and her inspiration was her grandmother, who grew up in rural China, and her grandmother shared with her the limitations that girls had.
Yeah, so when we were creating Future Female Scholars, I kind of brought this issue up to Claire, oh my gosh, I noticed I'm the only girl in all of my STEM classes. And then she told me about a story about her grandmother who was raised in Henan, China, and she grew up in this rural countryside village where most of the people, all they do is really farm. And so whenever her grandmother was in 2nd grade, her and her other friends, who were all girls, they had to drop out to work in their farm, so she never got access to an education.
Yeah.
And although there are no legal barriers to what women can do, I think that just is an example of a social barrier of
that we just think that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
All right. Future Female Scholars, tell me about how the idea came about and then how it's set up.
Yeah, so the idea was, what if we create this all-in-one hub or resource where all of girls can kind of come together, share resources, and then also receive free one-on-one tutoring. So a lot of high schoolers and even college students these days, they look for a lot of volunteer opportunities. So what if we have these students who love to teach, who want to volunteer, teach students who may not have access to those private tutors or those typical resources that aren't always super accessible.
Yeah, and the other thing with that is when you see a female tutor, then it reinforces that yes, girls, i.e. women, can do this too.
Yes, 100%. I mean, I feel like going into my research too, I wasn't really quite sure what I was doing. I knew I wanted to make some sort of low-cost engineering device, but I had an amazing mentor who was also a girl who kind of taught me that, oh, girls can engineer too. And she was also the only other girl in our lab, so just having that mentorship is so important.
Since we were talking about math earlier, let's do some impact by the numbers. 1.58 million reached so far. Over 10,000 students directly tutored, 1,600 network of tutors, 130,000 Instagram followers, and over 11 million views in the last 90 days. And what that tells you is that this is something that is so needed, and you make it so accessible no matter where someone is, right?
100%. I mean, like, I noticed too, a lot of Gen Z, they're just always scrolling on their phone on social media. So we literally just do a bunch of scholarship posts on our Instagram, and it, like, kind of as they're scrolling too, they can also see very accessible scholarships because it's literally just posted on our social media. And I think that's how we were able to kind of get that momentum to gain 130,000 followers.
All right, so take us through, how does a girl get free tutoring? Like, what does she have to do?
Yeah, so posted on our website, futurefemalescholars.com, we have a free tutor forum where we have the contact information of over 1,600 approved tutors who are all girls. And literally, like, if you just scroll through the forum, you can filter it by grade, you can filter it by subject, by experience level, and there's also specific courses, like if you're taking AP Calculus BC, for example, you can filter it by that. And with the click of a button, you can email them and schedule a Google Meet.
Ooh, how do we become tutors?
If you want to become a tutor, it's also very easily accessible on our website. You literally just post your tutor form with your contact information, some other information about what you tutor, how, like, what your kind of goals were, what age you want to tutor, and then after it's approved, we'll post you on our website, and then you can start earning service hours from there.
Yeah. All right, so what do you want to do college education and career-wise one day?
I mean, I'm very passionate about my research, and I love the idea of, like, using creativity to engineer new technologies. So definitely something in that.
Yeah. Do you know where you're going off to college yet?
Not yet. I'm a rising senior, so college applications are coming. It depends on, I mean, where I end up. I'm not quite sure.
I have a feeling wherever you want to go, you are getting in. It was funny, your mom was so shy, but I was like, where did she come from? She's like, well, she's just a chip off the old block, right? But you're an amazing young lady, and thank you so much for thinking so much about other people.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. To learn more about future female scholars, visit greatdayhouston.com and we will connect you.